Coach had you out there to close it up last night. How much do you like that opportunity to close it up?
I love that opportunity. I've never in my entire life, worried about starting the game. You always want to be out there to finish the game and, help close the game out. I relish that opportunity. I'm thankful for that opportunity. And I just, anytime I'm in that situation, I just try to give all I can give.
We saw what you could do shooting the three-pointer in the playoffs last year. And is it something that you really worked on in the offseason as well?
Absolutely. That was one of the things when I met with Coach, I met with Bob at the end of the season exit interviews. And even before I met with them, I knew it was something that I wanted to improve on. When you're on a team like this with such great shooters, you don't want to be that liability. Not that you're going to, shoot to the extent that they do, but you just don't want to be that liability on the floor. It helps open so many more things up, on the court. So, it was something that I definitely wanted to work on, and I think that I've improved on.
How did you do it?
Shots, constant reps, getting a lot of reps up all summer. I think that was the most important thing. I've never had a broken form, a broken release. It's just about getting reps. That was one thing Coach Izzo told me when I first got to college. You don't have a bad shot, you just need reps. And as I was in college, it got better and better. And I continue to better that just by constantly getting more and more reps up.
Coach was talking about your tip in and late game making winning plays. Is that a knack that you have, or is that something you learn over time?
We're all blessed with certain things. And that's just, I guess it's just a knack, one of my blessings. I thrive in those situations, though, to be able to make that play, not only, but it's not all about scoring, that's the play that everyone will notice, so, it's not all about that, though, it's about, setting the screen, getting stuff open, helping on defense, locking the man down on defense, coming up with a rebound, coming up with a loose ball, interrupting their offense, all the things that go unnoticed. Of course, the basket is the one that everyone will notice. So, it's always great, to mix that in here and there and, be able to make a play like that. But, I never really, worry about the things that everyone notices because I like to focus more on the things that people won't notice.
Are defenders still sagging off of you, or are they playing you tighter?
They're playing me a little tighter now. They're not sagging as much. I see more and more people starting to, really try to contest my shots, so they're not sagging off as much. But, there's even been a few situations where it's, 2-on-1, me and Steph and me and Clay. I'm not sure why, but, they run at me. And I'm already looking to make the extra pass to one of them anyway because, they're the better shooters. But, I guess you pick your poison.
At the end of the last year, you were telling me that you challenged Steph to like a three-point shooting contest. Have you had a rematch yet? Or?
No, not yet.
Is that in your plans?
Always. I'm a competitor, and like I said before, all that does is help me get better. Because I know when I'm shooting against Steph or Clay, you miss, you lose. So it makes it helped me focus in on every shot and make the shot game-like, because in the game you're focused on every shot. If you're just out shooting, sometimes you're not going to focus on every shot. But when you're shooting against a guy like that, and that was one of the things that helped me going into the playoffs last year, shooting against Steph, because, like I said, it made me focus on every shot, and I want to win, as crazy as most people may think that sound, I actually think I have a shot at winning whenever I'm doing something. So, with that being said, I focus in to try to make every shot in. When it don't happen, you lose.
What's the team focus versus Toronto?
Just, going out here and trying to build on what we did last night. We did some things well last night. We did some things that we have to clean up. But, just getting wins, finding a way to win, getting back in our groove, trying to put a streak together. That's our main focus, to put a streak of wins together. And Toronto happened to be the next game up on the schedule, so that's who we're going to focus on. They have guys who, in a Rudy Gay who can take over a game, DeMar DeRozan who can take over a game, Kyle Lowry who can take over a game. So, we know it's not going to be an easy game, and it's going to be a tough challenge. But at the end of the day, one thing that coming into this year we said we wanted to do was win the games that we think we should win and definitely protect our home court.
You talked about your exit interview, but I know you're kind of a self-motivator. What did you tell yourself at the end of last year that you needed to do better and feel like you were making strides?
Improve my shot, improve my body, a conditioning body, and be me. I think last year a lot of the times I wasn't me. I did the hustle things and I did that, but especially offensively, I wasn't myself. I didn't look to make plays much. Sometimes didn't shoot the ball when I was open, didn't have confidence in my shot, So, my main thing coming in this year was be me, do what got you here. Because, the Warriors didn't draft me to do what didn't get me here. They drafted me to do what I did to get here. So, that was one of my main focus, come in and do what I do and not, focus on everything else or worry about different things. Just be yourself. And I think if I be myself, it's good enough.
Coach talked about using you to initiate the offense a little bit. You have some backup point guard coming up in you?
Oh, man, absolutely. But
you told us not to ask you.
My entire life, I've been in pretty much my entire career put in a role where, sometimes I had to initiate offense, so it's not anything foreign to me. When I'm put in that position, you just want to make the right play, and most of the time it's just an entry pass to a D-Lee or a Steph or something, but at the same time, when you're playing on this level, sometimes that entry pass is tough, but you also want to put that entry, one thing I pay attention to, especially with the Steph, is ball placement. Because his shot is so quick, and the way people try to guard him, sometimes you can just lead him right into a shot off an entry pass. And I think, it happened once last night on the elbow one, where we were elbow ice on him against Isaiah Thomas. And you try to lead him into a shot because he's such a great shooter, and it also relieves some of the pressure off of him. To where he have to create so much. If you can, lead him into a shot, it makes things that much easier, and it make life a little bit easier on him.
Did you get on D-Lee for not dunking that hoop you threw him?
Yeah, I did. I did, because it happened earlier in the season with HB, and I'm like, man, I need my highlight play. You go dunk that, we got a top 10 play. And, I did tell D-Lee, but, I knew at that point, I think he had missed his first 5 or 6 shots. You want to see one, go in, so I wasn't really worried about it. It was, it was a play that helped spark our run, so it really doesn't matter to me.
You remember anything about your matchups with Tyler Hansbrough in college?
Yeah, he dominated in college. Got a couple big wins, large margins. But no, I mean, Tyler's a tough player. I'm a tough player. Even last year, I think we got into it. It's not something that you go out looking forward to, but when you have 2 competitive guys like, myself and him, sometimes that happens, but, he's a good player, hard-nosed guy, so you just know when you're playing against him, you got to have your hard hat on.
You don't need any extra motivation, but do you use stuff like that? Does that get you going at all?
No. That was long ago. I'm a better player. He's a better player. It's 2 completely different situations. I wish I could take that national title back and get it, but, it didn't happen, and, life goes on. Now it's about coming out here playing for the Warriors and winning the basketball game. It has nothing to do with, him beating me when I was at Michigan State or, whatever. 2 completely different teams, 2 completely different situations.
As the bench has kind of been trying to find itself this year, how important has your consistency been as that group's been coming together?
I mean, it's very important. The one thing about our bench is I'm really the only guy that was here last year that came off the bench and played significant minutes. So, I think that is my job, to try to be that consistent force, while other guys gather themselves, get used to the system, get used to playing with each other. So many different things that people, everyone think, the Warriors, they got this great roster, it's going to happen like that. And it's not, and I think a lot of people tend to forget that, but, I have a comfort level in this system now to where, I should be able to do a few things that, some other guys still getting their feet wet. And, now it's starting to take shape though. Our bench has been a lot better. Neto's playing better. J.O. is finally, rounded. It took him a few games to round into form, but he's rounded into form. Mo is rounded into form. So you have
When
guys.
Tony back too.
Exactly. You have guys hurt as well, you know. So, you know, it took a Harrison, you know, who was going to be with our unit, and put him into the start lineup because Dre went down, you know. So we haven't really gotten our chance to be together yet and grow. But at the same time, we've been doing a better job, and we have to look to continue to get better. So that's going to be important for us.